The pivot for GTBP is starting to change to bullish. Let's go ahead and take a look at the immediate short-term time frame to the long term to find out exactly what I mean by that. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. Once again, this is ARCa coming at you with a GTBP technicals and raw price action thread of analysis on this Hump Day Wednesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so I want to start off with actually this chart right over here, and we are essentially meeting the targets that we were kind of talking about, right? The potential of dropping back down here to validate the support level of our the symmetrical triangle. Right, so this is a very good thing. Now, I mean, in respects to the 8-hour time frame, I definitely see that we have some pretty tough resistance, right? We have the SMA 10 and the SMA 100. Right, so that can usually lead to a potential downside. I'm not saying that we can go all the way back down to that zone of about 32 cents where we face today, right? But I am saying that we do have a resistance there that we need to combat, okay? So that possibility is there, but while we do that, also know that there's immediate short-term support at about 32.87 too, okay? So that could be, just in case there are some bulls kind of missing in action here, that would be another opportunity to kind of long the market, right? Right around, let me see, I'm going to just be as precise as I can be, right? So I would say, yeah, about 33 flat. Right, so as it has a lot of confluence here with all these candles and the bottom side of this one here, the opening of this one there, all kinds of things, right? So yeah, so in essence here, this could have found the floor temporarily, right? So that we can actually start making our ascension back to potentially testing the test number 2 of the resistance from this symmetrical triangle. So now we have supports validated. Okay, so in all essence here, this is starting to play an ABCD strategy. Okay, so now if you know that range, then you would know how to play this, right? So this would be your X, right? Your A would be down at this point. Your B to start a short position would be there. Then your C would be here. And then this would essentially be the breakout prep. Right, so this converging price action can also be played with an ABCD strategy, which is a very typical strategy in the markets. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we have. Yeah, we're still keeping an eye on this broadening descending wedge here on the daily time frame because we're about to, you know, let's just say that we did meet the upside here of about 44.77, just to per se. 44.77 looks like this in this chart right up here, right? So that would be a clean enough break, and also very interesting that the SMA 100 would be located right about there, actually, when we face that resistance. That would be a great thing because we would be able to essentially come and reach that resistance and retrace back down to test the area of about 37.60. Now, the 37-cent zone is incredibly important, and this is why. Okay, we have the golden pocket located between the knot 618 and the knot 382. Okay, so that's going to be just like this. Okay, so this zone here, this is a very bullish area to be in. Okay, especially when you're actually retracing and validating supports, which is, by the way, the support of the broadening descending wedge, this teal line, right? It's a resistance now, but we'll convert it into support by resisting from the top side here. Then we start to validate that. And while validating, we're going to be jumping in and out, actually, or jumping within the golden pocket. Okay, so that golden pocket would essentially catapult price action to the upside. Okay, we'll go ahead and evaluate price action when we get there. Okay, you guys, so now another thing that we can see here is on the 5-day time frame, right? This is the target that we were looking at just yesterday, 32.01, right? So that's why we marked that box there. You can see price action ended up touching a low of 31.80, so just slightly below the target that we were talking about. But you know, this is good because that would have essentially guaranteed entry, right? Of course, we're talking about paper trading, right, you guys? We want to make sure that we can keep retail safe here. Okay, so upon that validation of support from this range here, remember, this is the 5-day chart. Okay, so it does take quite a while for this price action to eventually realize. Okay, I mean, to get to the target of the mean reversion here, I'm talking about a 47-cent target from the current price action that we're in, right? So if we were to have considered that position of let's see, of about 32, then that would lead to an essential almost 50% gain to the upside. And just to be clear here, at one point during today's price action, you may have been up around 20% from that entry. All right, so very, very good things there. So yeah, this is essentially what the mean reversion is telling us, right? That we could be on our way. We're still contracting here, and we're still lifting off on the stochastic momentum. So this is indicative of a mean reversion play, okay? And that mean is located at about 47 cents. Let's keep an eye on that as we move. Okay, you guys, so now this is, did we already speak about this one time? Well, I mean, yeah, this is essentially the chop range in the symmetrical triangle. The reason why I brought this up here is not because of the price action. It's actually because of volatility and momentum. Please notice here that the 30-minute time frame, upside, critical volatility, expanding too. This is what we want. Okay, this is essentially giving us that kind of go ahead. All right, now the hourly time frame reciprocating that very effect. Right, and we're also expanding in volatility ever so slightly. The next thing to look at here is that if this is not so significant, then that means that the bi-hourly and the 4-hour probably don't have it just yet, but are probably seeing it in the early stages of it, right? So this is so check it out. We are now contracting in volatility, and we're starting to get that pivot ever so slightly here on the EMA3, which is the leading indicator between the SMA 14 blue line and the EMA 3, the exponential moving average 3 period on the yellow line, right? So now the 4-hour time frame, we're starting to get a little bit of a kink here, but yeah, we would need a little more push from the immediate short-term time frames, like the 30-minute and the hourly. That would essentially push the price action towards the upside. Okay, so as soon as we can start getting that 4-hour momentum pivoted towards the upside, and ideally with increasing volatility, right, to the upside, then that would essentially help us meet the upside target that the upside targets that we're speaking of, right, to break out of this formation. Okay, so yeah, it's looking not bad, you guys. We definitely have to practice some patience here, right, because this ticker looks like it's getting ready for a major breakout, and that's gonna take a lot of attention, a lot of time, a lot of energy, right, you guys? So, you guys, I think short-term downside, remember, you already have those targets. And but if we do continue on to the upside, you guys, we can start testing the resistance of about 34.67. And then we can actually test, upon validation of that 34.67, we could then validate the top side of about 36.49. Keep those targets in mind. And also keep your risk management closer to you, right? So remember, first and foremost, that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Okay, you guys, I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.